Okay, so we're at sketch 85, feeling pretty good about life, feeling good about this whole thing. I'm actually surprised we made it this far, and I think at this point I want to try to hit the 100 mark. And I was kind of thinking maybe that would be good enough. I think 100 sketches. It feels like a feat to me, but who knows? Maybe we'll take a big long break at 100 and then pick it back up with some new way of doing things. I was thinking of some ideas like, oh, maybe we'll uh, just focus more on like VSTs or try to switch over into like VCV rack or some other such other than Ableton. Switch it up, switch things up. All right, speaking of switching things up, I want to try this dice roll idea that we've done in the past. Let's see where we land. All right, looks like we're gonna do some beats. That's always fun. Okay, let's see, key of B, that's easy. So we can do one pitch down. I guess if we're doing beats, we almost don't even need to think about pitches, but I'm thinking we'll not just do only beats. We'll end up with something more. I always like to try to fill the sketches out, even though when I go back to sketches, oftentimes I end up removing a lot of stuff. But it's fun to try to get the sketches into the state of like the main section of a song, at least, with all the parts working together. And then at that point, it's easy to just like take it to the arrangement view and, just fade different things in and out. That's one way of working. Some people I know, let's see, we'll do 87. Some people I know like to only just like work in here. And this is such a good fun sketch zone though, if you ask me. Okay, let's see, we've got 3 effects. So dynamic tube, let's get that going. Dynamic tube. Corpus, all right, that's kind of a fun one. Haven't messed with that one in a while. And the filter delay, not something that I really use that much, honestly. Let's just roll again on that one. I should remove that from the demo. It's not really my thing. Pre-made effects rack. Okay, so something from our racks section here. Audio effects. I guess we get a pick, which is nice. Let's see, if we're doing beats, we could just go with the beat. Effects select. Well, we'll start there. And okay, so instrument choices. Let's see, hit 1. Okay, so electric. Oof. I think we've had it pretty easy in the past when I've done this random dice roll kind of way of setting up sketches. We've had some mostly easy rolls there. So, okay, electric is here. I think we can definitely get some percussive sounds out of this. It's going to take a lot of shaping to get anything meaningful, but well, at least this is a starting point and we can just, switch it up whenever we feel. Sketching should be fun, but it's nice to have a starting point. And sometimes I think that is the hardest thing to get down is a good starting point. So that's why I like kind of rolling dice or having, some means of picking ideas randomly for me, just as a jumping off point. I think it was John Cage was kind of where I got that idea. He would do a lot of like random, I think John Cage or one of those old schooler experimental artists. Yeah, electric. Great for, I guess, a lot of things, but I don't hardly ever use this. Good for funk, I would think. Hip hop, soul. There we go, percussion. I knew this thing was able to have a range of weird stuff it could do. Okay, so let's just yeah, I just hit some random keys. Let's pull that in and let's isolate a section there. we could do something weird like duplicate this. We could have 2 layers with 2 electrics. I'm gonna try to see if I can get a kick sound out of this electric. Right now this one sounds a bit like an electric guitar that's, you got your palm on the strings and you're just kind of taking the pick, raking the pick over the strings, that kind of like muted. Yeah, all about the stiffness. Oh, weird, okay. I see, the different sections of the inner workings of an electric piano. Fun. Yeah, let's just keep this one real simple for now. I think if we want to get things from this sort of haphazardous striking, we could try a arpeggiator that oftentimes pushes the notes to the next whatever you have this set at. Not sure if, oh, we did lose our chord thing, so we could choose the chord mode. Corpus in like really conservative settings, it can almost be like a reverb. A very, so it kind of sounds like it's in a closet or a cupboard. Not that that's really what we're going for here. I kind of liked it dry. Okay, let's see if we can pitch things down and get a kick sound. Definitely get some bassy stuff here. Maybe I'm just gonna start moving these knobs around until maybe we get lucky. I guess that's all you can really do. Interesting, okay. Definitely the weirdest sounding electric piano. It's nice to know that the arpeggiator, the electric can do things really odd and otherworldly. All right, let's roll with that for now. Let's bust out our probability gate. Note probability maybe. Yes, this one. And we definitely want to put it after the arpeggiator, so the arpeggiator just takes one long note, and then this one will probabilistically remove notes. All right, let's play with this thing. And I definitely think we need to start automating stuff. That's really where the magic happens, if you ask me. And one of the ways I really like to learn a new instrument, like electric, is just try to make a bunch of tracks and use only this instrument. And through the course of that, I find I really get familiar with sort of the inner workings of what various knobs do what. And then having that knowledge makes it a lot easier down the road to like think of ideas that this may, work with this particular instrument. Awesome. I kind of like that sort of biting, nasty little teeth coming out there. Let's put a limiter. We can just use a compressor and make a limiter by pushing that to infinity, pulling this down just a tad below the 0. Now I just need to find that thing that I was messing with. Whoa. Almost a kick type of sound happening there. Didn't quite get that bitey, toothy, nasty sound that I was messing with before, but maybe that's it, yeah. Okay, let's focus in on that one. Get ourselves an automation lane going. Do like this subtle noise kind of coming off of this instrument. Slightly unpredictable. Right down in there, yeah, there's this like brown noise or some kind of really muffly noise. It's cool. Always trying to keep an ear out for the cool stuff happening. Easier said than done always. And some days, it's easier than others. It's like some days those ideas are just so easily spottable. Like there's like a certain energy that one can have when doing creative stuff where you're just almost like more receptive to things and a little more active and listening and yeah, a certain kind of energy. And some days, honestly, some days are better than others, that's for sure. Yeah, I honestly don't have it some days, and I really want to sketch, and I just don't have that energy. So like at that point, oftentimes I will just play around with plugins and really not put any pressure on myself to try and create a sketch. I will just do some like I've even spent time certain days just reorganizing my plugins to try to make them a lot easier to find. I always try to have like a handful of things to do in case you don't have the energy to try and pull out something interesting during a sketch. And you can still feel productive. Yeah, this might actually be too much going on here. So let's just pull the whole thing down. Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to see these little handles. Almost wish Ableton would make those a little more obvious at some point. Yeah, let's definitely animate that. easy to get a ton of different types of sounds out of this electric. It is not a one-trick pony, thankfully, but it is certainly very focused in what it does. Okay, coolio. All right, let's play with a few others. Actually, let me do my quick maintenance. Let's try to mess with this. Right. Now that I'm messing around with the electric, I'm wondering what kind of, like, if there's any kind of ambient stuff that could possibly come out of it. Obviously, we could run it through gobs of reverb. That is always an option. Or some kind of convolution will always drone things out. Okay, so classic electric out of the box. Wait, I pitched way down. Just playing random 3-note chords. It always amazes me, like, what kind of, sometimes really interesting stuff happens by just hitting random series of 3 notes. Because I am not a keyboard player. Yeah, this is some kind of some minimal French experimental, like Pierre Bastien kind of style. I highly recommend checking out his work if... Oops, we are in record mode. Pierre Bastien, I think I've mentioned, or maybe Sebastian mentioned his work. He creates these robotic, mechanical objects that sort of run on their own and make a lot of sounds, and he just will play funny little clarinet or trumpet or something solos on top. It's fun to watch. Now, do we have an attack here? I don't think that this... Now, we're getting this definite tone coming off of here. I'm wondering if we can temper that some. Maybe it's under the symmetry section. Let's see what happens when we pitch this thing. Sometimes it's fun to just see what happens when you pitch things up egregiously high. Cool. I think we should try a random and just bump the chance up. Didn't quite get my kick sound though. It does make nice little bleepy sounds. Okay, you are way too intense. Maybe it's... I think think that some of this stiffness is what's causing some of these high peaks. All right. Some things really take a lot of fighting to figure out, you know, the sweet spot. Some of these complicated instruments, you really just got to mess with them for a while and, you know, move knobs or anything, because, like, that's the only way. Experiential learning, I think, is the only way. Oftentimes I'll have an idea in my head, like, oh, I'd like a kick out of this, and then just moving knobs around randomly, ending up somewhere different. I guess that's a metaphor for life. We always have it in our heads that we want things to be a certain way, and then, you know, usually never works out the way we want. Let's pull this down. Let's get this a little more tame. Right. Trying to decide, is it time to introduce a new instrument? Wish I could play the keys. I tell you, I should practice more. I mean, I think it's, you know, if you can get used to pushing notes around inside of, like, you know, the piano roll here, you don't have to be a good keyboardist. You just have to have be a good patience-ist. It takes a lot of patience, I think, to be a little bit of a note pusher. Okay, let's get some effects. We've got this beat, repeat thing. I'm curious what this is going to sound like. Yeah, let's do some crazy shit like that. Oh. Alright, I'm going to copy that over, just paste that. Yeah, that I'm gonna skip. Always good to recognize those spots that, you know, you could either, like, try to keep messing with them or just delete it. I think learning how to use the delete button is one of the best things an artist, a digital artist, can do. To learn to do is to just be able to remove things, you know. Yeah, there we go. I like this kind of goofy little, been doing some goofy pieces lately. Playful and Not too pretentious, hopefully. Yeah, I do like the alien oddness that this adds. You know, the electric is such a recognizable sound. It's almost talking a little bit. Good to give your sounds a bit of personality. What did we have in the last sketch? We had the cybernetic gumshoe. Wow, this Ableton really struggles at just doing this simple. I think when you have a lot of automation points, it slows down quite a bit. So yeah. Don't have a cybernetic gumshoe. Maybe this is the, you know, this sounds a lot like some video game music. This is like the, when you're hanging out inside of the apartment of the cybernetic gumshoe. Because of course, you know, that's got to be a character in a video game. And you're just trying to figure out what the heck you're going to do next. This is good. This is good, like, cybernetic gumshoe apartment music. Okay, let's pull from our talkie electric. Yeah, things get really alien when you start messing with the spectrum there. Cool. Now that I'm doing this, I'm having all these ideas like, what would vocoders sound like on some of these percussive layers? I definitely think we want to get back to a beat concept in there. That was one of the original dice roll picks. But we can do whatever the hell we want. I love trying to keep that mentality going. Yeah, we don't need this. Let's delete that. Clean things up a little bit. Yeah, let's get that dry wet kind of fading in and out, sort of haphazardly. Nice. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think here we'll cut that. We'll paste it there. No, let's paste it here. And then pull our start point for our automation loop in. We'll just throw that there. Wow, some very cute little robot noises happening. Got some nice percussive stuff. Very. Ooh. See, that's always fascinating. And maybe a little bit of half and half on that. Cool. Let's get on some automation on that one. I'm digging it. Okay, so here we go. Oh, a nice little snare snap. Still, the whole piece to me is missing some bass. Like a bass kick or bass line or something like that. So let's go ahead, let's add in drum synth kick. I'm really enjoying this thing. It surprises me how versatile it is. Terrible, just terrible performancing. But doesn't matter. I think we can, we can always turn garbage into gold with the right mindset and effects. Again, throwing an Arpeggiator on there with these short pushes the sounds, quantizes the sounds nicely. So a great performance can be done live on stage by just throwing an Arpeggiator, especially unless you got to hold long notes. And at that point an Arpeggiator isn't necessarily what you want. I think this quantize, funny little robots. This MIDI quantize, it's in our project somewhere. Yeah, in the Max folder. Great for live performancing, where when you suck at playing to the beat, like me. Let's get an electric on there. So I am literally just hitting keys sort of haphazardly, not to the beat, and this thing is just works miracles. And I always like to, when I've used this live, to perform along with. Almost makes you feel like you're, it's a weird sense of false sense of encouragement. And without that, that would just sound really just very drunk. So what I like to do with this MIDI quantize is MIDI map this on and off to say MIDI CC1 and then the quantize amount to another knob in the shuffle if need be, and then I can have one hand just kind of doing a cheesy solo. Not that I ever play like this live, I really don't, but this would be one case. I'm just sort of hitting random notes. What it does is basically you can hit the notes and it quantizes them to the next logical step of here. So I don't know. I think it's it's not perfect for a lot of live performance situations, but I do think it's pretty magical, especially with beats. If you want to do some beats that sound really matched up, that thing is priceless in some ways. All right, where's our kick? Enough tangents. to get some automation on some of these. Nope. Looks like we don't have our modulation automation option there, so my hotkeys are not going to work here. It's okay. Sometimes you just got to get your hands dirty and do it manually. That was not even the right automation loop, but that is okay. Just keeping it loose here, folks. No pressure. Let's play with the rate a little bit. Get some fast, flammy kind of sounds in there if we can. All right, cool. So let's. I like that. Did we get any of? Yes, good. I feel like the 1/12 wasn't working out so well, so let's replace that with 1/16, and I'm going to copy that. And I like some of this in there. To remove those, and in fact I really feel like I should, well, let's keep those in for now, and let's get a pitch effect and play with some MIDI effects. There we go. Let's modulate the pitch. Yeah, weird sounds when this thing is really low, but maybe it's what we want run through the spectral resonator, so let's... Very funky. Remove this one, and let's get a snare. Where, right in front of me. All right, okay, maybe a clap. Yeah. Cool, maybe something sort of straight. We can put a humanizer on there. I haven't messed with this clap module too much, so it's not too bad, really. Alright, yeah, let's automate everything. Fun things happen with that kick. You know, it doesn't take much sometimes when you automate the right things, if you know what to automate. You can get magical results pretty easily. I guess it's just a matter of knowing where to. I always try to keep an ear out when I'm, as you can see, always just like slamming knobs, you know, knob abuse. But I hear a lot of things that come out of that. So far we got a pretty up close and personal, you know, a lot of mono, a lot of yeah. I'm trying to think, like, do I even want to bother with any reverb? Maybe some more stereo panning, but I think I'm going to keep the reverb out of this one, which is not my normal move, but I feel like I want to try to, like, switch it up, do something different. Just, you know, the new spectral effects in Ableton 11, I just can't get enough of them. They sound super cool sometimes. Yeah, let's definitely get some automation there. The more you automate, the cooler oftentimes your sound can be, in my humble opinion. Not that I'm an expert, but I'd say I know a thing. Maybe not or two, but I know a thing about making weird noises. I do admit to that. How this clap can also kind of turn into a little bit of a, just like the high end of the top of a snare. I'm not sure what this percentage, oh, okay, spread and then tone. Sure, why not? Let's automate all of it. Yeah, I'm like thinking maybe we should just try to automate every knob of what we have so far. It could take a little while, you know. I'm like, is it worth, you know, the time? Not sure. Sometimes you can do more harm than good. Automating things, but no harm in trying. All right, let's get stupid then. Let's try to automate everything. I'm like, okay, maybe we'll just leave it to the things inside. Ooh, okay, yeah, I'm looking at that. Oh, that's a lot of work. Maybe we don't need to automate everything. I have done that with certain effects or instruments sometimes, just to see what, you know. Sometimes it was super cool what I got out of that, and sometimes it just was kind of maybe a bit of a waste of time. I love that you can tune this kick. It'd be great if you could send a MIDI into it and just play some, hey, maybe it does respond to pitch. Alright, we didn't really do much with this corpus here. There's our ambience. We can definitely take some of the width down. Cool. I kind of like that. The slinky hip-hop vibe we kind of have going on with this one. Not too terrible. All right. Oops. Revert that, and then let's... Okay. Let's push this off. There we go. Now everything's all wonky and weird. As we learned last sketch, you must start from 0 and then type in some random number. You can see the CPU just freaking out as it's trying to do all those calculations, but then you land somewhere in generative land, somewhere a little random. With the tube yet. Okay. Not as much automation runway as I was hoping, but in fact, this thing, maybe we'll drag this before the corpus, and let's add a bit of bite. And now that I'm hearing this talky business, let's see if this thing has a stereo kind of effect. Yes, it does. Nice. Maybe almost too in your face at this point. I think we need to... Let's see. We need... Compression. 2 of the most needed effects, most used effects for me, compression and EQ, honestly. That is kind of a doy. It goes without saying. But gotta have them to make a good track mix. Yeah, just playing the random notes. You can see the notes coming in here, and sometimes it seems like it's syncing them up to the beat pretty good. Some of the dorkiest, this is some nerd hop for sure. It's like the nerdiest, dorkiest hip hop. But I don't care. You know, half the time when sketching, I feel like I don't really end up with results like of any particular style that I would ever release. But, you know, that doesn't matter. I don't think it should matter. I don't think that's what it should be about. It should just be about kind of having fun and learning something new, stretching your mind a little bit. I don't know. Some people are so obsessed with, you know, getting that album out there, and I feel like that's defeating the purpose, at least for sketching. You know, a little too business-like, but that's, I guess you still got to get some shit done every now and then. So what can you do? All right, let's try. Let's put this at 100%. Yeah, let's get some of that turning on every now and then. Mostly off. All right. Kind of want to hear the corpus on that hi-hat. But first, let's get lo-fi. It's so dirty. Not a great distortion. Not a terrible one, but not a great one. Let's try high quality mode. Not much difference. But good for getting some crust in there. Yeah, I like a little 50-50, get that crust layer going. Right, I like that. Yeah, just a bit of crust on top. Kind of kill the squeaky clean. Definitely loosen our lose our hi-hat a little bit. There's probably like something we can do. Maybe one of these different, yeah, one of these different algorithms. Yeah, let's get that random LFO working. Very simple piece, but maybe that's all it needs to be. Let's try some of the pre-made audio effects. And that really takes things into a sounds just nuttier already. What is going on under the hood? I see. Yep. Okay. The pipe. Yeah. So this is taking that bass from that kick and just really resonating it. Sounds so dirty. we don't need that much chunker. But we could automate this to only be on at certain times. Oh, 457. That's crazy. We definitely do not want that much. Feeling like maybe some sidechain compression in there could really bring the mix into focus. Yeah, let's clean you up and then copy some of this over here. Not being too much of a perfectionist with the automation loops. As you can tell, I kind of just keep it pretty loose. I see. The chunk is the wet and dry of the corpus. What is in here? Oof. Okay, some other nutty business. Looks like we got a low pass with a tremolo. Yeah, I'll just... Oh, sounds like we got some record scratching happening. All right, let's get that side chain going. And we'll put the side chain from onto our melodic layers here. Let's let the kick do the work. Now, just for shits and giggles, let's play with a bit of a hybrid reverb. Yeah, wow, that's just transforms it. It's like we are now in the parking garage, the abandoned parking garage, and somebody brought a crappy boombox. Reverb really takes you places. I want to hear this sound from one of our previous sketches in there. Straight up, just 100% ambient right now. Put the right sample into... so resonant though. In fact, I think, you know, if we were gonna... Yeah, let's just shift gears. No, I think, I'm curious what a little... Firstly, we need just, I think, to notch that thing out. And this is a very lo-fi sample, as I've been using in most cases, so, you know, we're getting all kinds of weird tones that way, but, yeah, lo-fi samples can really, especially when you, in the hybrid reverb, you take the size up a bunch. It basically pitches the sample down. So if you've got a sample like this, it's like 11,025 sample rate. You know, you pitch it down, you're gonna hear all kinds of weird aliasing stuff, which is sometimes, like in this case, it's kind of neat. Or we could just try to notch out some of these. If I had $1 for every hour I spend notching out some unwanted little frequency, I would be so rich. Got like a little bit of those tones in there, but not. Of course, if we change our size, we're gonna, you know, these things will shift. we could just notch those out. I even like the little popping, clicking sound that comes out of these EQs when you change the algorithm. Yeah. Here we go, ambient parking garage. Almost works for like an ambient experimental breakbeat hip hop type of piece. I feel like the kick is almost a little too drunken at some times, which we can easily remedy by just taking some of these and fixing the timings. But also fixing the timings on these core notes. And let's try a triplet in there. Cool. Still getting this one tone is really intense. There we go. I'd like a little bit of it so we could modulate this cue so that some of it comes through every now and then. Strange. Oh, the weird goofy melodies, you know, almost could I think it's just this one. Perhaps if we just, let's try 100% wet. And that might be the ticket. We basically remove, you know, and if we want, we could, duplicate it and mute that. And we don't get the automations there. So what we could do is we could show automation on here and then copy that over to our dupe. I mean, I think the best way to dupe automations, like maybe we could duplicate this and then pull this one over here, but I don't think it's going to work like that. No. Okay, so we will show automation in here. Gosh, I wish you could do that. Copy an effect as well as the automations along with it. Would be amazing. Okay, so we have this version where we've got our wet automation. We'll just leave that for now, leave it in there in case for some reason we wanted to. Now let's play with the blend on this. So this kind of, the blend adds a little bit of reverb. You can hear it on the clap. I think I want some more of that hi-hat to come through. Let's hear what an ought will sound like. Just over the top. I do like a little bit of it. I mean, it really squashes things. There's also the ought effect that comes with the multi-band dynamics. It has an ought preset. Let's compare and contrast. And one way I love to do this is get two chains going, and you can just solo one or mute the other one. Solo the muted one. So let's see, did we turn? Yeah, we turned that one off. So we've got Ableton's. I feel like we did this already, but sometimes I got to do things 3 or 4 times to actually get it, let it really soak into my brain. I guess we did alter the preset on this, so let's get a new instance of it. It is very strange how similar they sound. That really boosts a lot of things up. One thing I love to do is go through and turn things on and off just to get a sense of what things sound like before and after. And I can just select a bunch of things and hit the 0 key. Yeah, there we go. We could just have, like, you know, some of these every now and then turn off. Cool. Yeah, smooth. So, okay, yeah. I think I'm gonna try to do that move. Let's make this one 17. Try to stay off of any normal to atypical grids. And let's just pull this one out. We don't need to group it. We could actually drop this. Well, let's see. No, I think we want to keep these separate. We could just group these. But in fact, yeah, I think for this idea, I think dropping them in a wet and dry it's going to sound a lot better when we a little smoother when I pull this on and off versus doing the hard on and off there. So let's make this one 17. Cool. And Actually, let's make this 57. And let's duplicate this thing to happen every so often. Some of these will make it last longer. Maybe we want a whole section that's... I don't think I like the fading in there, but like a whole section over here that is just a bunch of off. I kind of like that fading in and out. Also do something strange, like put a sidechain right in on the hybrid reverb. Of course, we can't hear it now because this whole thing is off. Let's see, did we get, yeah, no sidechain from the clap at the kick. Let's automate this one a little bit. Definitely want to get this thing automating. Whoops. Still prone to doing that. Easy to miss this thing being on. But hey, you're not fucking up, you're not learning anything. I remind myself as I face palm. All right, let's. Strange nutty piece. Probably needs, you know, a lot more finessing in terms of when things are turning on and off, but there is definitely some cool, weird and wild sounds going on. That is always, for me, in any ways with these sketches, that's the main goal. There we go. Little stereo on the clap. Awesome. Okay, cool. I think we are good to go. From cybernetic gumshoe apartment to, I don't know what, abandoned parking garage nerd hop. Just nerd hop. There we go. GRP. Trying to stick with the convention there. Arrow is pointing to it's coming from here. Awesome. Well, I guess until next time, keep it nerdy, keep it hoppy, keep it weird.